What's up, everybody? It's Keefe with another ghostcultmag.com weekly ritual. I am not at the Ghost Cult HQ in San Francisco. I'm in New York City, my hometown. I'm here for Metallica and some other stuff. So super cool to be with you. Wherever I am in the world, this show still happens. That's what this story is all about today. I was going to say something clever like "Welcome to the Church of Suicidal," but didn't do that. But I guess I just did. If you're new here, thanks for being here. If you watch this show before, you know what we do. This is ghostcultmag.com's weekly rock and metal news show. We're going to give you the whole shebang bang of the week that was and the week that's coming and stuff that's happening right now. Thanks for being here. If you're here on all the things, Pharma Diver, I am on your same coast. What's up? What's up? Pharma Diver is a ghost cultist. Be looking out for a lot more coverage from her coming up soon of all sorts of things. But yeah, I'm here in my hotel room in Midtown Manhattan, flying by the seat of my proverbial pants. But if you're new here, like I said, I appreciate you. Lots of fun stuff to do today. A little bit of a shorter show, at least from the planning phase, but no less interesting in terms of the news. So let us call up the deck that I use. I got still multiple, no matter where I am, multiple angles. So if I'm not looking directly at your cameras, because I'm looking at my notes. Let's just put myself there in the corner. So the housekeeping, the lay of the land of the show. We do the introductions. Hi, how you doing? What's up? How you doing? And talk about major events, announcements, things that are happening, features here at the site, on YouTube, our podcast, things we're doing, exciting things, features we've written. Then we're going to go briefly over some festival news that's happening this week. And then a bunch of tours were announced. We're going to talk about tours that are either beginning, underway, or been announced that are major. Then we're going to break down the top stories of the week. Probably go a little shorter on that segment this week, just in the interest of time, since it's late at night. Doesn't matter where I am in the world, always late at night for me. And then we're going to talk about the new music that came out today, New Music Friday, everywhere in the world today, and new albums you should be picking up, spinning, playing, purchasing. It is also Bandcamp Friday. We'll talk about that in a minute also. Bandcamp Friday is back. Then we're going to unbox something cool from my mailbag. I actually brought something with me across the country, specifically for that segment. And then we're going to send you all home. So thanks for being here. As I like to say every week, the best experience of this show is on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook. But of course, if you're here on the Gram or TikTok, we're going to interact with you also. I believe this is also streaming on X. I can't get used to calling it X, but whatever. If you're here on some of our channels like Twitch and TikTok, give us a follow. We're trying to boost those numbers up. We've got some goals to reach on the numbers game there. So that's the housekeeping and how we do the show. Everybody's got jokes. Anywho, 8/4. It is already August. Unbelievable. 8 months into the year. Wild. Just wild. Wild as far as I'm concerned. So here are the announcements. There's some rough ones this week. Another rough week. It just seems like every week we're losing more and more of our people. Just really tough times in the world. Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubens, is a piece of everybody's childhood, died. And with this guy, he had apparently had cancer and suffered privately and didn't really tell anybody outside of his circle. And then just the announcement was a shock through the whole world. In addition to being an incredible comedian, he was actually a great serious actor as well. You should check out the Johnny Depp movie Blow, in which he has a pretty good role, pretty good sized role, co-starring barely, almost. Pee-wee's Playhouse on TV, in addition to Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the movie, and Big Top Pee-wee. Pee-wee's Playhouse gave a start to so many famous actors and comedians, as well as, if you're a metalhead, Rob Zombie's first real job after he graduated the Parsons School of Design was doing set design and staging and painting for the Pee-wee's Playhouse. A lot of that craziness, that vibe is from Rob Zombie personally. So, just a thing to keep in mind. Rest in power, Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman. This is a real surprising one. Former Goat Whore and Kill Ritual bassist James Harvey died suddenly. He was just 35. He died in his sleep. He left behind a wife and children, 2 small children. There was no cause of death reported at this time, just kind of passed. His wife launched a GoFundMe in addition to funeral services money, money for the children, perhaps college funds, things like that, their future. And, just a real shock and surprise. I had managed to see James when he was in Goat Whore several times. He was a killer bass player live. He was an incredible show person. His showmanship, his performance ability was tremendous, and he was always holding it down. Goat Whore is a band with tremendous players and personalities, and he was no shrinking violet. So rest in peace, James Harvey. Very sad to hear about his passing. And then this is just a pop culture note. I don't know if anybody out there has watched the show Euphoria, but Angus MacLeod, who was an actor on the show, he played Fezco, died this week. We know that he was very open about his struggles with mental health and certain forms of intoxicants. His father died last week, and his father was like his best friend in the whole world. So that left him very, very despondent. And, as I like to say all the time, if you're out there and you're struggling, DM us. We'll respond. You can always reach out to people. We have literature and links in all our descriptions and our link tree where you can reach out for help if you're struggling with your mental health. It can always get better. I know it doesn't seem like it, but it can. So that's another sad one. And then again, we're still raising awareness for Year of the Knife. Maddie Watkins, a little Maddie Watkins update this week and every week until she's up and around and rocking stages again. Maddie Watkins has begun to speak using some assistance from some rehabilitation devices. She still has a long way to go recovering from the Year of the Knife horrifying van crash less than a month ago, which totaled their whole van, injured multiple members of the band beside Maddie, and totaled all their gear. So that GoFundMe is ongoing and will need to be ongoing as her medical bills are going to be massive. And, again, families staying in the Salt Lake City area to support, so they can't move her. So again, please help if you can. Again, here's Jesse Malin again, hardcore and rock legend Jesse Malin, formerly of Degeneration, a 90s punk band, but he also owns Bowery Electric, the venue in New York City. He's played with Bruce Springsteen. Like, he's incredible. He had a spinal stroke, and he's got a long recovery himself. So if you can donate to his GoFundMe, that would be super cool. We'd appreciate it. We are still repping the Solidarity Voices charity comp. This is from Fine Chamois Records here in the Bay Area. There in the Bay Area, where I am not for the first time in a long time. This is the farthest east I have been. I haven't been back home since I moved to California, so this is awesome for me. I'm really excited. And but yeah, Fine Chamois has put out this Solidarity Voices compilation. They're trying to raise money and for the cause, the labor cause in San Francisco, supporting the Teamsters Union and UPS and their potential strike or labor, unrest. And anything you can do to help is awesome. It's a killer compilation. We're super stoked to be part of it. Fine Chamois is a killer label. They have a bunch of bands that are just amazing from across an eclectic bunch of genres. And there's some hardcore punk. There's some metal. There's some death metal. There's some singer-songwriters. There's pop punk. All kinds of stuff on this comp. So check it out. I think I said comp like 40 times right there in like a 2-second span. Hey, on the good news front, it was James Hetfield's birthday today. So Papa Het turned 60 years old. Holy shit. I remember when he was a pimple-faced, freckle-faced dude in the Kill 'Em All days. And also August 3rd, James's birthday, is also the 41st anniversary of the show it's the 40th anniversary was August 3rd of when they played at Roseland Ballroom again. And they were signed at that show by Michael Alago, signed to Elektra Records. And that is when Metallica went from kind of a cult underground band to a huge band that ultimately became the biggest band in the world. We will talk more about Metallica in a minute, but happy birthday, James, and happy anniversary to Metallica. 40 years from that fateful night when they signed with Elektra and changed their fortunes tremendously. Once again, we're on all the socials. Find us at gostcultmag on almost everything. wherever. If you like social media, we're on it. We post a lot there. So join us. Join us. X. I just can't. You just can't get used to it so far, but maybe it'll turn around. Maybe it'll turn around. But I don't know. So far, I'm not thrilled with X. And they took away the word tweet now from the post. So dumb. Just about the dumbest thing ever. Also, we're on Threads. I really haven't been posting there. Any of you on Threads? Have you been using Threads? It's related to Instagram. It's by Facebook/Meta. Have any of you been using it? Let us know. Should we be on it? Are we messing up by not being more active on it? Do tell. Do tell me. We are also on Discord. We are also on Reddit. We are on all these things. If you want to get off the regular social media and the conversations and you just want to feed, and you can also conversate, but if you prefer to have just like a feed of stories sent to you, all the things we do, you can join us there. I'm also on Twitch. This show is on Twitch right now. If you're on Twitch and watching this, please help us out. Help us out with a comment. And again, if you want to join, the best experience here is on YouTube. We take super thanks and super chats. It all helps. If you donate some money in a super chat or a super thanks or a gift, I will prioritize any question you have about rock, metal, punk, anything. I'll answer your question first and lovingly. I will quote you warmly and lovingly and accurately. Here's a feature at the site this week written by this guy with two fingers, me. Fear Factory's Obsolete turned 25 years old on Friday, the 28th of July. So we wrote a big feature about that. But Castiga is here. Hello. I think somebody gave us some kind of gift on TikTok, but I'm not 100% sure. Thank you if you did. Appreciate you. But yeah, Obsolete, incredible record. We wrote a very big feature all about it, all about the history of the record and the impact of the record. Maybe Fear Factory. I know most purists will say Demanufacture is the best Fear Factory, but Obsolete's a banger and has really no weak tracks on it. So on to some other things we did this week here at the channel and here on the site. We interviewed Derek Vella. Actually, this is an interview we did a while back that we just ran now, where we're trying to clear our archives out, our backlog. A lot of stuff goes on in our lives, and we do a lot of content and we create a lot of stuff, but it just sometimes takes some time to turn it over and make it live. So this album came out at the end of last year. This is Dream Unending, which is a drone and death metal supergroup, like black and droney ambient, but also death metal supergroup. Derek and his partner are in a bunch of metal bands, but specifically Outer Heaven and Innumerable Forms and Tumult. So those are pretty killer bands. And they put this record out on Relapse, and we broke the record down. We went track by track. We talked about how they write songs, how different this is from their main bands. And I think if you're interested in bands branching out and doing different things, this is an interview you want to check out and learn about it. We also talked to Gaff and Doug, Mark Gaffney and Doug Sherman of Gozu. Gozu is on the boutique label Blacklight Media Records, which is a sub-label of Metal Blade, and Blacklight Media has had a bunch of killer bands, including Capra and Glass Tiger and Mother Feather, a bunch of bands. So Gozu, man, awesome record. Remedy came out just recently, and we did an album breakdown with them, but we also shot the shit about a bunch of other things. I used to live in the Boston area. I'm going to try to visit Boston to see some of you folks up there, and I got my Evil Rob hat. No tattoos on my fist, but Evil Rob does. And he shoots photos and does reviews for Ghost Cult. But Gozu are some Boston homies, and I'm a big fan. But I also got to chat with them seriously about the new album. It's killer. You should check it out if you like stoner rock and heavy rock stuff. This is Royal Thunder. Just a reminder, we had an interview not too long ago with Josh Weaver of Royal Thunder. This also is now on our podcast, the Ghost Cult Magazine podcast. Is wherever you listen to podcasts. This show will be a podcast. And so I welcome you to go check out all our stuff. We have some exclusive content on the podcast, including interviews coming up next week with Kitty and a few other bands. So definitely stay tuned. So there's the Ghost Cult Magazine podcast. If you're watching this on one of the regular streamers, that's on the left. And then also another podcast we rep here at the channel and share the content of is the Heavy Business Music Podcast. If you have a band, if you're in the music business, you want to listen to and watch this podcast and learn the finer points of how to hype up and help your DIY music career. I am going to be an upcoming guest on the podcast. I'm a regular recurring veteran guest of the show. They gave me some hosting privileges, just not every day, because I have enough to do, including this other podcast. I'm part of the Glacially Musical Podcast, beer, metal, and swearing, sometimes vinyl nerdism, vinyl collecting, hipster t-shirts, all kinds of fun things. We did our final episode on the band Grand Funk Railroad. We listened to 3 Grand Funk Railroad records, so you don't have to, but if you're interested in hearing what we think about them, we sum it up pretty well. And hello, Maricielo Linsrock. Thank you for being here. And so we listened to that and also announced our next series. So after a couple of series of rock bands, we are back in the metal and we're going all the way extreme. We're doing the first 5 or 6 Cannibal Corpse records. So stay tuned, subscribe, get notified whenever we share a new one. Cannibal Corpse coming back next week on the Glacial Musical Podcast. I'm super excited. Arguably the best death metal band ever. You tell me what you think. If they're not, I'm not sure, but I think so. All right. So just a little break for our affiliate partners, Merch Bar. You've heard me talk about them if you've been here before, but maybe you're new. You guys love your metal merch. Look at this. I got this Suicidal Tendencies jersey on. I got my wristbands. Even when I'm not at home, I have my metal merch on me. And if you like metal merch and you're a rock and metal head, you want to check out Merch Bar, who is our affiliate partner for this video and in general. If you use our link to make a purchase at Merch Bar, you get a discount every time you go back and use our code. So this is great. You're going to buy this stuff anyway from the bands. Don't buy it from bootleggers. Don't buy it from fake sources. Buy from Merch Bar. They got vinyl. They got shirts. They got patches, pins, flags, everything. Hats, all the cool shit. So Merch Bar, Merch Bar, Merch Bar, Merch Bar. With the link from Ghost Cult, though, if you just go by yourself to Merch Bar, you're not going to get a discount. So use our link. Here's some cool shirts. Today is Bandcamp Friday. We're going to make a post very soon when I'm done with this live stream. Probably should have made it already. It is Bandcamp Friday soon. And for Bandcamp Friday is back after a little bit of a break. If you have a DIY band and you're on Bandcamp Fridays, Bandcamp waives their fees. So any purchases, all of the fees, all the profits go to the bands. Bandcamp has, I believe, has raised $1.2 billion in its existence for bands, mostly independent ones, and $188 million this year alone. And so Bandcamp Friday is now back. August, September, October, November, December. They're going to go out with a bang in this year. So definitely, if you got some if you were contemplating some purchases, now is the time. Also, I love this meme. We're going to talk about the festivals. That was all the announcements. Now, on to the festivals. Here we go. Alrighty. The story of the week has been Wacken Open Air. Wacken Open Air is the granddaddy of them all. It's the biggest metal festival in the world. It takes place in Wacken, Germany. And leading up to the festival, they had a ton of torrential rains, and so they were worried they would not be able to have the event. They worked extra hard to try to put it on, but the weather was complicating the entire footprint of the festival. And so what they did was, and hello, the Machine NL, I believe that if that's Netherlands, hello, I'm a fan. Ghost Cult started as a zine in the Netherlands. I'm sure you've heard me say that before if you're not new. So they started limiting the amount of people that the festival was sold out. Probably 80,000 people bought tickets. Wacken sells out every year with like clockwork, without fail. Usually before the current festival is over, the next one sells out. This is going to complicate that. This is probably the first one in a long time that was jeopardized by anything, let alone weather. And so there was just flooding everywhere. There was no way to park or camp. They tried to get it, usable, playable, but they made an executive decision to limit the amount of people who could come in. And once they did that, a lot of people were left out, including press, including a lot of campers and a lot of festival goers who did not get to attend. They got automatic refunds, which is admirable. I appreciate that. A lot of festivals will just rob you, but they gave the money back. But like if you traveled to Germany to go to this festival, like a lot of people did and didn't get in, you'd be really mad. So I think they have a big problem on their hands. I'm not sure quite how they're gonna smooth this over with their fans. But Iron Maiden is supposed to open um, with a bunch of other bands, but it's just I feel bad for anybody that's there. I knew a couple of people who were going. One was shut out. That's our own Cell Arts, who's going to try to cover some local shows in the meantime since he can't get into the festival. And Big Paul is there, and he got in. So I hope he stays safe. And he said he's safe, but it's very muddy. It did dry out a little later today. Day 3 of the festival. Day 2 of the festival is officially tomorrow, but people have been around the surrounding areas for quite a while. They cut off car traffic. You could not drive up to the festival. They were trying to limit how many people would come in. We don't have an official number yet, but I'm sure they'll release something or someone will. All right, Heavy Psych Sounds Fest just completed a whole bunch of festivals all over the world. They have added New York and Baltimore for the first time ever. The 10th and 11th of November, New York at St. Vitus Bar, Baltimore at the Metro Gallery, Bongzilla, the Atomic Bitchwax, High Reaper, the Golden Grass, Geezer, Black Lung, Witch Pit, and many more are going to play. I've seen most of these bands. They were awesome. Scotty Boy is here. What's up, Scotty Boy? Good to see you. All right, so Heavy Psych Sounds Fest. We got your Doomers covered, man. The Doomers love. We got you. This is Brutal Assault Fest taking place next week, and there's another banger. It's usually like 160 bands in an old fortress in Czech Republic, and Anthrax, Meshuggah, High Lung, Sepultura, In Flames, Trivium. So many killer bands are doing this festival. Definitely worth going to someday. Also, the New England Metal and Hardcore Fest is coming up soon. Stay tuned to this channel and our channels for my interview with Scott Lee, the founder of the festival. In addition to the main festival lineup, which looks incredible, they just announced the Metal and Hardcore Festival Museum Gallery featuring photographer Jeremy Saffer and Mike D'Antonio, aka Dark Icon Designs from Killswitch Engage and Overcast and some other bands. I think I need a little swig of water here. I got a soda bottle with some water. You can hear the New York traffic behind me. I was hoping you would be able to see out the window behind me, but I don't have an okay view, but it's kind of over my shoulder and down, so unfortunately not. But so far so good. I'm enjoying this. I hope you are too. We have quite a bit of followers here, so thanks for being here. All right, moving along. Creator has announced a new festival that is going to take place with the big four of Teutonic thrash metal bands. I know the Germans, you get upset at the word Teutonic. It isn't an epithet. It means people of Germanic descent and German lands. But Creator is doing a big festival of their own, and Sodom, Destruction, and who's the other one? I'm going to draw a blank because it's the middle of the night. I'm tired. But they're doing their own festival with the German Big Four. That's pretty exciting. Rob Sutherland is here, 3950 Kickflip Rob. It also could be Kickflip Rob, like Prob. Anyway, concerts. So that was all the festivals. A little light this week on festivals. One-offs and tours, a little bit more plentiful. Guess what time it is? Metallica time. Metallica's M72 tours here Friday, August 4th at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, where the Giants and Jets play. Night 1, August 4th. Night 2, August 6th. I am going tomorrow, night 1. I really hope I see all my homies and friends from all over the country and all over the world coming in to see Metallica. Who knows what the set list will be? You'll get a report from me and a review, and that'll be happening at Ghost Cult. I will probably very definitely catch at least one more show on the tour, not Sunday though. So Metallica, and there's Metallica events in every city, pop-up stores, shows with other bands, Metallica book signings with Ross Halfin, Metallica movie festivals, all kinds of things. This is Wolves in the Throne Room. Have booked an incredible black metal tour with Guerra and Black Braid. Oh my gosh, actually, I think Black Braid's ahead of Garia on that, or Garia. I can't remember how to pronounce their name. If someone can help me, help me. But yeah, great job. Wolves in the Throne Room been very patiently waiting for another record from those guys. Once again, Meshuggah, In Flames, and Whitechapel North American tour coming up later this fall. Very exciting stuff. Meshuggah running out the string on their last album. Deaf Heaven, love them or hate them, Deaf Heaven has announced a Sunbather tour, 10 years of Sunbather. Touche Amore and other special guests TBD to be announced that are going to open, but Chicago, Detroit, Philadelphia, Boston, Washington, D.C., Queens, New York. Yo, can't believe I'm in New York City right now. This is amazing. San Francisco, I will very much likely go to that show. L.A., Denver, Austin, Texas. So that's your Deaf Heaven 10th anniversary tour right there. Also off is heading out to Europe this week, and they are doing a bunch of dates. That is the band featuring some hardcore legends like Keith Morris of Circle Jerks fame. Off is like his side project. This is Dying Wish. Dying Wish has announced a big headline tour. Very exciting for the hardcore metal band. Also, the Scream tour is coming. Owls and Aliens on tour with Raven Black and Living Dead Girl. Seems pretty exciting. That is also starting next week. So we'll probably have this banner up again with a little more details by now. This is It Dies Today, who have been on everybody's lips. Demi Lovato started talking about them, and they are blowing up. Now, Billie Eilish has said that she likes the band. So craziness. Pop stars like metalcore. Who knew? Who knew? So let's see. We're making good progress, everybody. This is Trivium. Paolo Gregoletto had hernia surgery. This has felled quite a few people lately. And so Paolo will not be on the current tour. They replaced him with a fill-in, and he'll hopefully rejoin the band as soon as he can. Okay, that was all the tours and festivals, everybody. I think we made a lot of progress here. Now we're going to whip through a very shortened version of the news and then send you home after New Music Friday and the mailbag. And water is done. I'm going to need a whole ass water when I'm done with this. Nico McBrain, man, this is a big shocker to me. For the second time in a year and a half, Nico McBrain has revealed a major health crisis. The 71-year-old drummer of Iron Maiden had a stroke in January that left him paralyzed on his left side, and he thought he was never going to play drums again. This is after he beat a cancer scare a couple of years ago. So, Nico, man, we need to protect that guy. That band is killer. Iron Maiden is one of the greatest bands ever. They're so good live, and they're so consistent. And I would hate for them to lose anybody. Also, oh, no, that's the wrong direction. Let's see, Nico. And then also Milo Ackerman of Descendants had a mild heart attack, and the band canceled their entire European tour. So that bears watching. Hope for the best, Milo. He's an icon of punk rock. We don't want to lose him. All you folks who've joined on TikTok, please give us a like and a follow. We would really appreciate it. It would mean a lot to us if you helped us out with that. Duff McKagan has released another new single from his upcoming solo album, Lighthouse. He is doing this in concert with Guns N' Roses, running his solo career, in addition to Guns. Very exciting stuff from Steven and Duff and everybody else. Machine Head, man, you guys were big time mad about this. Machine Head is back to doing their weekly live streams in between tours. They do have some big festivals coming up in America and not much else planned that I know of, but they did their weekly live stream and they played a cover, an unplugged-ish cover of Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor. It's ultimately, the song is by Prince, but Sinead made it famous and sang it, and their tribute was to her. So people get big time mad at Rob Flynn. I'm not entirely sure why, but that is, yeah, just what it is, folks. Let's see. This is, I forget it was. I think this is Angra, the Brazilian power metal band. Angra has signed with Atomic Fire Records for their next album, if this is your genre. stay tuned. These guys are going to be making a lot of videos and a lot of content, a lot of powerful songs that make you question your manhood. Anywho, shout out to Lorna Shore, who knows how to make a joke. Obviously, the Barbie memes were happening all week with them, maybe the last few weeks, but they are headed to the movies, and they released a new single from their last album and a big merch bundle of new merch just in time for their tour with Mastodon and Spirit Box opening. This is X Japan, just to let you know, in case you're an X Japan fan and you could not get online quick enough. They released a brand new single, Angel. They were having some autograph sessions, really cool engagement and real cool way to kick off a tour, I think, without a big announcement. This is Airport on your right hand of the screen if you're watching the live stream regular. And they did a track with Jesse the Devil Hughes of Eagles of Death Metal. So that's pretty cool. Arabrot has a brand new single out from their upcoming album of Darkness and Light. Check that out. Metal Blade Records, we mention them often, involved in so much in the metal world that they are having a big garage sale right now. So you definitely want to check out their material for sale. Prong has released a new single and announced their new album, their 14th album overall, State of Emergency. And we talked a little bit to Tommy Victor about that in an interview not too long ago. Here's Scott Ian again of Anthrax. Scott Ian said this week that he hopes that Anthrax will have their new record recorded and ready to come out in 2024 proper. That's the goal. We'll see as Pantera gets more. The Pantera shows get more dates added. Takes Charlie off the board from being an Anthrax and Zach from continuing with Black Label. But just to let you know, Capra has re-signed to Metal Blade Records and Blacklight Media. They dropped a new single, Tied Up. It's a live performance video. I saw Capra at the start of the summer. They were amazing. Didn't know all these other details at the time. But interviewed Tyler Harper. Very exciting dude. Very cool dude to talk to. So look out for that. Also, the Ultimate Heavy Metal Guitars book is out. This is a coffee table book. It's got a page per entry. It's pretty rad. Here's a fun band here. You may recognize the guy in the back with the blue bass. It might look eerily familiar. Who could it be? I don't know. But Salted Wounds is a death metal and hardcore band from New York City, featuring members of Laceration and Sun Descends and 6 Hours and many other projects, Grunt BX. And you can check that band out. There's a free shirt for you in the bin, as well as any other creatures that come out of it. It's all yours. Almost done, folks. This is Charity Killer, brand new darkwave and synthwave industrial artist. I would like to chat with her at some point. I hope it happens. Very exciting person. Kind of reminds me of Kanga vibes, in case you're into it. Don't know if you are, but I am. So again, New Music Friday. Let's just call up the tracker. I have it open. Let's just run down the list of stuff that's coming out tomorrow. Let's see. Records out today include, oh, I lost my place. All right, one more second. Here we go. All right, An Autumn for Crippled Children, Closure on Prosthetic Records, Atmospheric Black Metal. Some people hate that term. Black metal purists don't like it. Chupacabra, awesome thrash metal band, crossover thrash band I interviewed. Fortified with Ashes is their self-titled debut. Thrash metal, up in your face. The Crawling, all of this for nothing on Grind Scene Records, is a death doom band. Crypta, fantastic death metal band, is out with their album Shades of Sorrow on Napalm Records. Devin Townsend makes Devin Townsend music. Devolution 3 Empath live in America on Inside Out Music. Great job, Devi. Edward Reeker's The Liberty Project on Music Theories is progressive rock. Humanity's Last Breath album title, Ashen on Unique Leader Records, contemporary heavy modern extreme music for those that like it. Mammoth WVH, also reviewed by Ghost, called Mammoth 2, BMG music, Very good. Very good record. Skindred, another hyper consistent band, one of the most consistent bands ever. Skindred Smile is out on their longtime label, Earache Records. Very cool. Teenage Wrist, Still Love. This is a very cool up and coming band on Epitaph Records and Worth Your Attention. They are very garage rock and punk. I like them. All right, that's all the records. We're almost done, folks. We made it through this whole show. Seems like I'm on autopilot, though. Very tired. Here's me waiting for packages. So here's a fun thing. I came across the country. I flew all day yesterday. I stayed in Philly last night, and I took a bus into New York. So planes, trains, and automobiles, almost quite literally, to get here from Metallica tomorrow. And some personal stuff I'm going to do on the East Coast that I have to take care of with my families. Dominic Toretto. But here's the mailbag. And we're not going to do a traditional full unboxing like I normally do because I'm doing a separate unboxing and review video of these records. However, let's talk about Magnetic Eye Records. Magnetic Eye Records is an awesome stoner doom record label. They always put out killer stuff, and they do this series called the Redux series where they take an album and they take a whole bunch of artists and they cover the whole album as a tribute, track by track. And then they also do a best of leftovers, things that aren't on that record. So we got the best of Soundgarden in the mail, and I'm just going to pull out the preciouses and show you. Here is Super Unknown Redux. Let me embiggen my screen. I always forget to do this. I always forget. This time I'm not forgetting, damn it. Here we go. So here is Super Unknown Redux in this beautiful packaging. And this vinyl definitely needs a slip cover to make it back safely with me home. But this is fantastic looking. Again, stay tuned for the full unboxing and review of this record, as well as its companion brother. Kind of like his fellow. Have you seen this one? It's the one hasn't turned up yet. It's like his fellow. And this is Soundgarden, the best of, or otherwise known as Not on Super Unknown. Again, similar, very cool packaging. And I'm going to, again, have a real good time listening to these and sharing what's on them with you. So, again, just want to raise awareness of this fantastic label, Magnetic Eye and the Soundgarden records, the tribute records. So, we go. What's up, Rob Sutherland? How you doing, Rob? And that's the show. I love to end on this guy. I'm going to put this back up on the big screen. I saw this and I was like, man, it's not quite a meme, but I want to share this with you. Rock and roll was invented by a gay black man from Georgia. Just in case you have problems with gays or black men or Georgia, gay black men from Georgia or whatever. Metal's for everybody. We are not gatekeepers. Everybody should have a place in it. I understand that there's an element of it that used to be some outsider music, and it still can be. But music should be, as it should be, formless and boundless. The fact that I exist to talk about these things is just my passion that I love to do. But, I would do it anyway. So that is Little Richard, and that is Ghost Cult Mag's weekly ritual rock and metal news show. Thanks for being here. I'm Ghost Cult Keefe. Follow us on all the socials, Ghost Cult Mag. Sometimes we're at Ghost Cult Magazine, but that's only on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, or whatever X, whatever it's called now. These are your places to get at us, as well as Discord and Reddit. Thanks for being here. I am Ghost Cult Keefe. I really appreciate everybody spending your time with us today on a Friday. Have a safe and happy weekend. And if you're going to Metallica, look for me. I'll be the bearded guy wearing a black shirt and a trucker hat, just like every other day of my life. Enjoy.